We've been seeing, ladies and gentlemen, people have been really coming out trying all kind of mental gymnastics to try to figure out their way to either break down the FBAs and how we feel about delineation, just about everything in general, right? And they're trying to figure out like, aha, I got in, because they're trying to pierce that armor. That's what they're trying to do, right? So I want you to listen to this guy. He's going to try to pierce the armor with some craziness. And it's like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what is it with y'all? What is it? Like, I'm serious. Like, if somebody told me they're, delineating or they doing something else, right? I'm like, okay, I mean, hey, man, God bless you. That's the only thing I would say if I was an immigrant. I'm like, God bless you. It's hey, man, I ain't got no beef with y'all. I'm cool, And they say, oh, yeah, no, we cool with you. It's no problem. I say, okay, all right, good. Hey, man, but I rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I know I'm not your group, but I rock with you. And as far as I would go with it. But no, everybody just flipping the hell out. Even some black Americans. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Want to judge people blackness, but then when Africans and Caribbeans come up, we judging their blackness.
Now, before he finished, look what he wrote. White cultured black Americans that deny whiteness, dislike Africans. No, desire whiteness. I'm sorry. So if you're honoring your heritage, if you are appreciating your ancestors, if you are focusing on FBAs first, that means we're being white cultured and desire whiteness. This, like I said, they're trying everything they can. And what you see up there is actually a shaming tactic. Okay. It's shame, and shaming tactics don't work. We're impervious to shaming tactics, right? So you want to say that we're being white cultured and desire whiteness, or whatever the hell you want to say, my brother, say it. But the delineation movement is going on strong.
They come from countries that are black, that are run by black people, that they're raised by black people. We're judging people's blackness that are raised by black people because their black isn't American black. But Drake's black is not American black. And then we're allowing people that call themselves biracial and multiracial to speak for black issues while they refuse to even identify as black. Right? And will try to assert that they are oppressed by black people. Even though they're saying they're black one day and the next day they're saying they're Cablo-Canadian and they're French and Spanish and all this other stuff. Like, black is black. You can have all kind of other admixtures in you. The question about Drake's blackness is not about racial identity. It's not about ancestry. It's not about whether he has a black parent or a black relative. But that does not equal loyalty to black culture. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is not celebrated because his skin color was black or because his parents was black. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is celebrated because he helped pass the 1964 Civil Rights Act that led to a completely different life for black people and for non-black people. That's why all people, whether they black, biracial, woman, man, gay, straight, that's why all different groups of people, Jewish people, everybody celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. because of his culture, because of the way he lived, because of who he stood up for. It was not just because he was born black.
Now, his argument was skin tone in the beginning. Then when he got to Martin Luther King, he started talking about culture. Then he went back to skin tone. Bro, what is it? Is it skin tone or is it culture? Let me go ahead and answer your question. We're not talking about people's skin color, because you're doing this skin color argument. We used to think that way, right? Before the delineation movement, we was more so focused on, hey, they come from Africa, they come from the Caribbean, they black, we all black, right? Fine. But what we didn't understand, how could people that's black just like me have similar features like me, but yet they're saying that they're not black and they're going to stay away and all these other things, right? How? What is that? And it freaked us out because somebody so-called black like us don't want to even be around us. Well, what we didn't understand was these people come from different cultures than what we are, right? Our culture is to say, hey, I ride with anybody black. That's our culture. In their culture, we looked at it as a different ethnic group, a different tribe. They don't see us as black and we ride with anybody black. They don't see that. That's not their lived experience. You understand? So what we're saying as FBAs is this. It is a cultural thing. We are in our culture. We're not focused on color. If that's the case, there's Asians that has the skin tone the same color as black people. There are Hispanics that has the same color. There are East Indian that have the color. Arabs that have some of the same skin tones as black people. And they are not black. There are different culture of people, different languages, and anything else that they have going on. The fact is, what's freaking y'all out, let me tell you really what's freaking y'all out. Let me go through it real quick. I wanted to make sure I find this, and here we go. So the delineation movement is more so a threat to any immigrant group because delineation actually equals protectionism for FBAs, right? So it's more so us, kind of closing the ranks, closing the circle. And, it's about black Americans with U.S. slavery lineage claiming our own political space. It's a resource and identity, no longer being the catch-all for global black people. Now, for immigrants, this is why they upset, because it feels exclusionary, right? And say, wait a minute, they created a VIP club that I can't get in. All this time I can get in the club, but now they created VIP and I can't get nowhere near the VIP because the bouncers are there and I can't even penetrate it. I can try to say I'm black like them. I can say that they don't know who they are and it don't even matter, right? Now, in times of crisis, like mass deportation, that's a crisis moment for them. Protectionist movements seem more threatening. They say immigrants, see the risk of being pushed out economically and socially in white spaces and black America. So the folks are saying, we don't want you around here. We're going to get you out of here. And then they can't run to the black community for refuge and say, no, we delineated. Hope that work out for you. So this is why a lot of them getting bothered, right? Now, they said economic competition and resource scarcity. Many immigrants see FBA delineation as a threat to opportunity. It says scholarships, jobs, contracts, and even black media, and the influencer space, are suddenly not guaranteed to them anymore. So we delineated, it took away the guarantees that was there. In the area of mass deportation, any loss of political protection or community solidarity makes them feel exposed. Hence to why a lot of times they're upset. Some of them are scared. They're trying to find every little bit of thing to try to get in with black America. Now, they say if FBAs get reparations or targeted policies, immigrants worry about being left out or even being scapegoated when hard times hit. So they have a lot of things going on. Is why they won't leave us alone from whether they are distant cousins, Latinos, whoever. Now, the political anxiety in the Trump era. Trump's policies have created fear, for immigrants, deportation, ICE raids, family separation. When FBA delineation rises at the same time, all that's happening. It can feel like everyone is closing ranks and no safe space. It's left for immigrants of African and Caribbean descent. Some feel betrayed. This is where some of the anger is coming from, because some of them feel betrayed that black unity is breaking down at a moment of maximum threat from the government. But once again, where was that unity when Trump wasn't around? When Biden was in office, where was the unity? When Biden was giving all them set-asides, nobody wanted to be unity. Nobody wanted to be black until now. Now, it says loss of access to black political machinery. For decades, the black category, is broad and politically useful. For all people of African descent in the United States. But delineation ends that, and now immigrants, can't automatically tap into the black institutions, networks, or policy wins without being challenged on their lineage. See, those lineage checks is bothering people. It's bothering a whole lot of people. Why y'all gotta be asking me where my people from? Where I was born? Where my family from? Why y'all keep asking that? Once again, it makes them feel exclusionary because now it's a paperwork check. But in black American culture, we always do that. Hey, we hear them talking, so where you from? We always do that in black American culture. So it's not something in the delineation movement that just popped up to talk to immigrants or anybody outside our particular community. We do that in FBA culture, period. Now, I say the shift comes at a time. I say when many immigrants are already feeling under siege from white America, a.k.a. Trump, and now see FBAs drawing hard lines as well. Now, the next one is cultural and emotional factors. Some immigrants feel disinvited from blackness. That's a lot of it, too. They feel disinvited. Their stories, food, and culture, are no longer centered in black America. And they fear social isolation, erasure, and even being othered, by the very group they once saw as kin. And FBAs, on the other hand, are tired of being erased and exploited for the benefit of others, a.k.a. Essence Fest. You understand? So this is the root of the conflict that's going on. Now, immigrants oppose FBA delineation more fiercely now because of Trump's anti-immigrant agenda, is raising the stakes for survival and acceptance, and delineation is seen as a form of in-group protection, that could leave immigrants stateless, not fully accepted, by mainstream America or black America. And for FBA's delineation, it's survival, which it is. For immigrants, it can feel like a double threat, in a hostile political environment. That is the perfect diagnosis of how black immigrants are feeling about delineation. They feeling excluded. They feel like they've been cast out of American blackness because they always been included in it. They have fear of what's going on. Some of them are downright feel betrayed by it. They're angry by it. That's why you see all these videos are being made constantly by a lot of immigrants or even some black Americans who maybe have immigrants in their family or whatever the case may be, or they could be married to an immigrant. That's a lot of time where you see all these crash out videos coming from. But the fact is, everybody, including the Latinos, had an opportunity to have the coalition, especially the black immigrants. They really had the opportunity from day one to come here, to join with FBA, and let's be unified. And even now, they're not a lot of them really calling for unity. They're kind of trying to shame us a little bit. But some of them saying unity, hey, we need to unify. But then you start finding all these videos where they like, hey, I'm not trying to be around black Americans. I'll stay away from the Akata and all that sort of thing. I don't want to be around you. And all these videos keep coming up. That was a silly thing to do, to get on the internet and say those things when you need black America. Now, I've always said black immigrants can fix the problem a lot quicker than Asians and Latinos can. But they're going to have to come to the table, have some respect, and stop saying some of the things they're saying. Because even in the delineation movement, some of them are still running off at the mouth, calling us white, saying we desire whiteness, saying we have a white supremacy pipeline. That's not helping you. You're only going to make FBAs dig their feet deeper into delineation when you talk like that. Listen, if you do something you make your girlfriend or your wife mad, do you go and you want to get back with her in the good graces of her? Do you go and just insult her and make her more mad with you? Or do you be nice? You bring her some flowers. You give her a nice card. You give it, you know what I'm saying? You try to be very sweet with her and try to, hopefully she'll forgive you and you get back in her good graces. No, nobody's going to go in and like, well, man, F her then, and go cuss her out. That's not what you're trying to do. When you're trying to get with somebody, that's not what you're going to do. But some of you on TikTok, you don't think very well. You're doing that. Which you're making FBAs dig their heel. And then, of course, we'll say, oh, these FBAs be saying this on TikTok or in the chat. Newsflash. I'm going to say something to FBAs and African and Caribbean immigrants. They're all white people in those chats behind profiles saying things to FBAs and saying they're Caribbean. Then there are white people that go say things to immigrants and say they're FBA. And just because a profile say they're FBA or their profile says they're an immigrant doesn't mean that they are. I don't get involved in the mud with comments. I'll do more if the video come out. Like if somebody make a video and says something to a camera, I'm more willing to respond to that, not a comment, because I know that. That's why I don't engage a lot of comments even on my own platform. Because all kind of people say things, and these people, you know what I'm saying? Now, if I click their profile and they got their picture up and they got actual video of them talking, then I'll take it serious. I say, well, it's actually them talking. But other than that, no. Oh, these FBAs said in the chat, that could be a white person. You know, white people love to get in the middle of black folks going back and forth for something. And really, for me, how I look at the delineation movement, it ain't nothing about no hatred, that's for sure. It's not. If you've seen the video on the stream, you know what I'm talking about. That lady, how she have a hatred for foreigners. She really do. We ain't on that. We have never said nothing like that. We're just loving ourselves and prioritizing our FBA community. That's it. That's it, and that's all, folks. like Looney Tunes. And people gonna have to recognize that if you want to get in good with FBAs, you need to be nice. Don't cuss us out. That's not a good way to try to fix things, right? So stop trying to worm your way in. Stop trying and just fix things. If you're trying to get right with black folks, fix things. Fix it. Stop talking crazy. Stop looking down on it. Like, you can be mad all you want, but I promise you this. You need FBAs a lot more than the other way around. So I know if it were me and I was an immigrant, I'm like, man, I'm good with it, man. Look, FBAs, I'm cool with y'all, man. We brothers. Like, look, yeah, I may be from here or I may be first generation. We brothers, man. We in the trenches together. They say, I ain't with all that disrespectful stuff they talking about. I'm with y'all. And every immigrant that say that, we like, yeah, that's my brother right there. That's my sister right there. We all say that. That's our brother. That's our sister. The ones that's with us. Not the ones that's against us. We don't claim them. I have not seen a brother or sister that's an immigrant that say, man, yeah, we that's my brothers and sisters right there. We rock with each other. I fight for, in this country what they fighting for. I haven't seen no person with common sense as FBA. They had a problem with it. Never. Now, a whole lot of people say things in the chat. Who cares about that chat? What does people say on video and what people say outside? That's why I'm at with it. I can care less about that chat and what people be saying down there, because all kind of people be coming down there. Like I said, a lot of white people come down there too, trying to cause mess. Please don't fall for that mess. But delineation is here. Y'all gonna have to break bread with FBAs and just get right with it. If not, well, it is what it is.